So 2 days ago, I went to flash the ECU on this bike, and I got some news that really shocked me. And if you have this bike, or if you're considering getting this bike, let me share with you what I learned. So if you've been following this channel since the very beginning, you know that I made a video walking around and explaining all the mods that I had on this bike from that time. Today I'm going to be speaking about the updated mods that I've put since then. So I'm not going to be really talking about the stuff that I already said on that last video. If you haven't checked that out, go see it, such as like the windshield here, for instance, or the exhaust that I installed on this bike. That's all on the last video. Right now I'm just going to be bringing you all the updates that I've put on this bike since then. But one of them is that 2 days ago I got my ECU flashed. And honestly guys, it made this bike ride like a completely different bike, in all honesty. One of the big modifications that the ECU flash brought to this bike was that the fan now kicks in a little bit earlier. And again, if you've been following this channel, I made a controversial video about the 5 reasons not to purchase this bike. And a lot of you guys didn't like one of the reasons, which was the fact that this bike gets hot. Okay, obviously it's a sport bike. So in the summer months out here in an Asian tropical country, beautiful place, it's going to get hot, that's obvious. And the fan, if you really pay attention, all the wind from the fan gets blown out right from here into your legs, which, you know, makes you hot. It definitely heats up your ride for the most part. So at least now the fan kicks in a little bit earlier. It makes it a little bit cooler to ride on the summer months. Again, I daily this bike, so it's gonna make a big difference for me. If you use this bike all the time like I do, stop and go traffic or touring, having that fan kick in a little bit earlier makes a difference, and I've noticed it already. Another change that the ECU flash brought was the throttle control here, and that was the biggest difference for me because it completely changed the dynamics of the bike. I'm gonna use that word, because before, when the bike comes from the factory, the throttle is only open, if you give it full throttle, it's only open to 100% at very few parts of the RPM range. I believe it's from like 6,000 to 8,000. It actually opens to 100% of throttle on 4th gear from what I saw. But now it's open all the time, and especially from 6,000 to, from 8,000 all the way up to the rev limiter, this thing just changed. I mean, it's a different beast. It completely changed the way the bike rides. It's much more smooth. The power doesn't fall down like it did before. When I rode this bike before and you open her up after 8,000 RPMs, you would feel that the power, you know, sort of dipped down, and then there was a big gap from like 10 to 10,500 RPM. You feel that there was a big drop in power. Right now, she just, after 8,000 RPM, she just keeps pulling, and that's awesome. So if you guys haven't gotten your ECU changed, if you haven't gotten your ECU flashed, that's something that you ought to do, because it certainly changed the ride. And another thing that the ECU flash changed was the fuel cutoff. And what that means is when you let go of the accelerator, the throttle, the bike would jerk before because it would cut the fuel to the engine. right now it allows, after I flash the ECU, the bike allows some gas to continue to go to the engine, which means that there's no jerking forward, not as much as before. And that made a big difference as well, and it also adds some sound to the exhaust. When you let go of the accelerator, you can hear those nice, crisp sounding pops that the exhaust brings. And obviously I still have my catalytic converter here. I have not added a full exhaust to the bike yet. We'll see what happens in the future, but when it comes to the sound, flashing the ECU can make a big difference for you, especially if you have that full exhaust. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing was spitting flames after that. And as you can tell right here on my plate holder, I no longer have that Fender eliminator. So I had to go back to the stock plate holder, and it looks hideous. I obviously like the one I had before much better, and there's a story with this. Someone took a picture of my bike out here and they reported it to the police or whatever, saying that my light in the back was too bright. So I had to go pass the inspection. I had to go get the bike inspected at their DMV here in Taichung. And they told me that I needed to put this thing back. So I went to the dealership and they got it changed for me. It's a bit of a process. It took them like an hour. I thought it would be quick. There's just a few bolts underneath here that you got to change. You got to also remove this thing right here. I don't know what you call this, but I also have a camera back here, so the wiring had to be done. It took them a little bit longer than I expected, but it was done. I'm going to go back to my other Fender eliminator, which looks way better. And there's a second reason for that as well. Now, I got a shock. There is a big news for me on this bike. Something that I did not know about this bike up until yesterday, which is this bike is lowered by about 1.58 inches, close to 1.6 inches. She's lowered 4 centimeters, about that much, which is crazy, and I only found out yesterday. That piece right there is aftermarket. You guys see that? And I did not know that until yesterday. I thought that, you know, the height was stock. And no wonder the bike just felt so great. She is very easy for me, even though she's heavy. She's been super easy for me to maneuver in small parking lots and small tight spaces. I can flat foot her easily on both sides. And I really like that about this bike. But a problem that lowering the bike brought, that I did not know until yesterday, is that now if I want to get the Kawasaki Pioneers, the Kawasaki saddlebags that are installed right here that we're all familiar with, I have to go back to the stock height, because with a passenger and heavy saddlebags, my fender here, my plate holder, whatever you call it, will be touching the wheel. And I was actually told that the box itself, the Pioneers itself, would be touching the wheel. So if I'm to get those boxes, which I don't have right now, but I was considering getting them because my GV bags started to scratch my bike right here. I don't know if you can tell, but it started to scratch my bike and I don't like that. I do like the aftermarket bags that I have. They're really nice for the purpose that I use them for. However, I did consider getting the Kawasaki Pioneers, and now I know that in order for me to get them, I would have to change this part, go back to the stock part, which I do have. The shop gave me the stock part, so it would be easy to do. However, again, I actually enjoy the bike being a little bit lowered because it makes it easier to maneuver. Probably makes the bike look better too. I don't know, what do you think? if you guys seen that first video of my walk around of this bike, you know that I spoke about these levers right here. One of the problems that these levers brought me is that I cannot start the bike in first gear. If you stall the bike in first gear, well, let me show you what I mean. I start up the bike. Let's say you just accidentally stalled her on a red light up ahead. You try to start the bike first gear, the kickstand is up, it won't start. So you have to physically change the lever all the way to the 6th setting, and then the bike will start. So it's a bit dangerous because if you try to start it in any other setting, we got it in 5, bike will not start. Again, back to number 1, which is the setting that I like closest to me, makes shifting the gear just a little bit easier. It just won't start. So it's a safety issue. I'm considering getting back to the original levers, which is gonna cost me about $20 US or so for the installation and the levers themselves. Not a bad price to pay, but again, I do like the looks of these levers, but if it is taken away from the safety of the bike, then I'm probably gonna go back to the original lever. So if you're considering, if you have this bike, you're considering getting aftermarket levers, keep that in mind. Ask your shop if they know about the levers and you know, if the bike can be started in first gear with the settings that I just showed you. So something to consider there. Now, something else that's very weird with my bike, and I have read that some other people have the same issue with this bike, and let me know down in the comments if you have this issue with your 1000 SX, which is from time to time the settings or some of the information on the TFT display gets reset. So for instance, the clock right here, right now is not 9:13 in the morning. It is 12 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Beautiful day, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. But again, the settings get changed. The max lean angle here, it gets reset and it goes back to 0, 0. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how often that happens either. I haven't really like written down when I changed that clock, when was the last time I changed that clock, but I know that it does happen. And I actually had it happen to me one time while I was riding. I looked down and I saw that the clock went back to 12 o'clock, which is what it goes back to when it gets reset. I don't know why that happens, but again, I have read some reviews of some other people who own this bike, and they've had the same issue. But let me know if you've had this issue on this bike, if you're able to fix it or not. But it is a bit weird. Not something that bothers me all that much, but it is kind of annoying to have to go back to that clock and change it back and forth all the time. And a few other mods that I'm considering getting. Again, the full exhaust system right here, I think that's gonna make a big difference. I'm looking into getting some other aftermarket headlights, or not headlights, just some extra lights that get installed right here under the main headlights, and they make a big difference when you're on mountain roads at night, which I've been stuck at a few times. You never know. These are the original headlights, don't get me wrong, they're very, very nice, but having that extra brightness at night on the twisty roads definitely make a big difference when you're out there touring. But we'll see what happens. And if you haven't seen those videos yet, guys, my original walk around or the 5 reasons not to get this bike, go check them out.